Alright. So let's see. 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so I'm just gonna really quickly go over this. Because if I don't go over it right now, I'm probably just gonna forget. So I might as well just do it now. It's gonna be really quick, because I'm like kinda hungry. So hopefully it's not too rushed. So Sona, Vayne, what are you against? Twitch, Janna. So before you even go into lane, you need to start thinking about how that lane is going to go depending on your matchup. Twitch is a lot stronger than Vayne at earlier levels. So you know, in terms of AD carries, you're at a bit of a disadvantage, because if you guys try to 1v1, Twitch is probably just going to like dump all over Vayne. Especially if Vayne tries to trade with Twitch and he gets like a Janna shield. Fortunately for you guys, Sona is actually very strong against Janna, at least in laning phase, and probably during team fights as well, because Sona in lane just has a lot of poke, and Janna really has no way to answer to that poke. The only thing she can really do is just shield. She can't really put out damage herself, so it completely relies on her AD carry in order to do damage and get kills in that lane. And if you and Vayne both attack at the same time, even with a shield, it's going to be quite difficult for Twitch to be able to deal with both of you. So before you go into laning phase, just always look over the matchup, figure out how you want to play it and how it's probably going to go. If I had a stronger AD carry like Draven or something, Draven Sona, it's a lot of damage. I would be like super aggressive and try to all in them, whatever chance I could. Vayne is a bit weaker than Twitch, but Sona is a lot stronger than Janna in lane. So this is a lane where I try to poke them down. I wouldn't be super aggressive, but I would try to poke them down as much as I could. And if I saw a good chance, then I would go in and try to set up a kill for my AD carry. But yeah, what it's going to come down to is I'm going to see how much poke I can actually get in. And if I manage to get them low enough, then then we'll try for an all-in kill. Twitch has cleanse, so that means he can cleanse Vayne stun, he can cleanse your exhaust. So you do have to watch out for that. But it does mean he doesn't have barrier. If you guys just all in him and his Janna shield is down, really he's probably just gonna die if you manage to pin him against something, against a wall or something. Because you can just chase with flash, most likely. So what we're gonna do is
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Close this and take a look at your items. Items are fine. Yeah, your items are all fine.
Hitting you is like boxing with shadows.
Alright, so I'm just gonna skip to landing phase here. Alright, did she just actually use... Yeah, they just kill him.
Hitting you is like boxing with shadows.
Whoops, there you go. Is that an explorer ward? Okay, generally you don't want to waste your pink wards on explorer wards. I know it's tempting when they put wards down for you to just pink and kill it. But pink wards are really important for... well, first of all, you're against Twitch, so if you guys actually fight and he goes into stealth, the pink is doubly important, because if you put the pink ward down, you can see him in stealth. But mostly, you want to save the pink ward for the bushes here. You want to get control of the bush. You want to run into their bush and run out, poke, run back in, run out, poke, run back in. And then when they try to ward this bush, you just pink ward it, so you still have control of this bush, even if they ward it. Generally, you want to save your ward for that. Especially if Janna used an explorer ward, you can see that she still has 2 green wards and a vision ward. So that was just an explorer ward. It only lasts 60 seconds, and there really was no risk of an invade from Twitch Janna. It's a really weak invade. So I personally would have just left that ward up, done that, and then just went to lane. Save your pink ward. Pink wards are really important. So try not to use it unless you really need to, or it's they're gonna invade or something. So we're gonna come into lane here. So what I want you to do is I want you to be like in this bush, or I guess if they're being super aggressive, just right beside your Vayne. But I want you to be trying to poke them down as much as possible using your auto attacks and your Q as well. So we're gonna watch this. So you're getting some good poke off. Okay, good. So you got some pretty decent poke off. Really small thing is you want to follow up with your AD carry. This is something I see a lot of supports actually have a problem with. So what you did is you got a lot of poke off, which is good, but you want to go in at the same time as Vayne, and that way you guys do more damage and Vayne takes less damage. So I'm going to try to show you what I'm talking about here. So okay, so we see Twitch is obviously going to go for this Vayne. Like, he's walking forward, but none of these creeps are low, so it's obvious he's not going to try to last hit. So he's just trying to go for your Vayne right here. So what I want you to do at this point is to walk out and pressure Twitch. Like, if he walks up, you want to walk up and meet him as well. And what's gonna happen is he's gonna auto attack your Vayne, but you're also gonna get a power chord and an auto attack off on Twitch as well. And that way, when Twitch auto attacks your Vayne, he's gonna take more damage in return than he actually dealt. And if Vayne actually decides to just stand there and turn on Twitch as well, suddenly there's like a 2-on-1. And Janna's all the way back here. He cannot help this Twitch. And if you guys just both turned on him at once, first of all, he's going to take creep aggro from all of these, and he's going to take damage from 2 champions at once. And that's going to be a really big problem. So if you walked out a bit earlier, you would have been able to hit your Q on him, and you would have been able to do quite a bit of damage to him as well. But you do quite a bit of damage to this Janna. You see Vayne tumbles forward here, you want to walk forward with her. Because Twitch auto attacks her, gets another auto attack off, and then expunges. And Vayne takes quite a bit of damage from this. If you just follow her, basically if she walks forward, you try to walk forward and protect her as well. Just try to mirror your AD carry basically. So if you were protecting her just a bit better, Vayne would have a bit more health right now. Vayne or Twitch would be much lower, and even Janna would be probably quite low right now as well. Alright, so okay, so you get some ward off. Good. Okay. This happens always. The support will go into the river to ward. I don't know if he's trying to pink ward or not, but the second the support leaves, you want to be aggressive because you have 2 players in the lane and they only have 1. So I'm just gonna quickly go back here. Okay. The second you see Janna walk like this, like she's obviously going to the river, wait for her to like enter the river, and then I want you to come forward and just be aggressive. Just be aggressive, poke, get some auto attacks off. Ideally what you would do is you would walk into this bush right here, and you would harass him from the bush. He cannot hit you if you're in the bush, and you come out, you poke him, and then you run back in the bush so he has no vision of you. He cannot do anything against that, besides maybe throw like his poison thing, which is not going to do that much damage to you. He has to wait until Janna comes back into lane before he can deal with that. So the second Janna leaves lane here, I want you to come forward and be aggressive with him, because he cannot fight you back, because if he tries to fight you back, Vayne will come forward as well. And so right here was a potential opportunity to take a lot, or do a lot of damage, especially since you saw her pink ward here. She's obviously going to be in the river for a while, so you two could have definitely just walked up here. And what actually happens is Twitch actually walks up and harasses you guys, and he does more damage than you guys actually do to him, even though you guys have 2 players against 1. So when Janna's gone, be super aggressive. There's really no way you can lose a 2v1. That was good. That was exactly what I want you to do. So let's quickly go over that here. Okay. Okay, so Twitch walks forward, tries to get like auto attack your AD carry. You walk forward, power chord, Q, get an auto attack off. He takes like half his health in damage. That's exactly what you want to do, especially if an AD carry like Vayne, you want to protect them as they're trying to last hit. That was really good. Now, if you could just do that every single time Twitch walked forward, then you'd be pretty much golden. Okay. Twitch does manage to get him. I believe you should be able to kill him. You do still have your flash. Actually, no, maybe you missed that. Okay, so let's go over that and see what happened here. Okay. Okay, so Janna walks forward, she gets condemned into the wall, and what you should have done here is you should have walked forward and been more of a threat, basically. What happens is Vayne actually walks forward ahead of you because you hesitated, because Twitch was walking forward as well. But the thing is, Janna was so low right now that she cannot fight back. She has to run. And the second she starts to run, is the second this turns into a 2v1 because both of you will be getting Twitch as well. So Janna gets really low. Okay, and what you should have done, like right here, is that instead of backing off, you should have chased Twitch. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Twitch is going to go for your Vayne. 100% he's going to go for your Vayne. He's already got 2 auto attacks off on her. You know, Vayne is already super low. And, you know, if he goes for you, the Sona, then Vayne is just going to jump on Twitch and you're both going to kill him. So with a little bit of like insight, I guess, you know that this Twitch is going to go for your Vayne no matter what. So at this point, what you should have actually done is instead of walking back with your Vayne, you should have walked forward and started damaging him, like started doing damage to his Twitch as much as possible. So you do damage here, which is good, but just a bit too late. It turns out, yeah. Oh, you also exhausted quite a bit late, so actually I'm gonna restart this fight. Okay, so let's go over this. So you guys do this. Vayne walks forward ahead of you. You want to be ahead of your AD carry, generally, pretty much always. Unless you're gonna like instantly die. Generally you want to be ahead of him. So Twitch gets off a couple auto attacks. What you should have done right here is you should have kept hitting him. You should have kept hitting him. So auto attack. And the second you see Twitch try to like dive this far, exhaust him right here. And just exhaust him right here. And this way Vayne would not be so low. And like, if he used his expunge while he was under exhaust, you know, you guys might have had a chance to have Vayne turn it around and pick up the kill. Or just have Vayne run all the way to his tower while you just finish off the Twitch. As it is, yeah, so you got the final shot. You exhaust just a bit late. He cleanses it, and then he just like gets away here. So, one more time. Again, you want to be forward, you want to be hitting this guy. You want to be doing as much damage as humanly possible. If he decides to go on your AD carry, he's not going to suddenly switch targets to you. That's just how it is in bot lane. So, in an all-in fight, if one person is being damaged, the other one should be dishing out damage, basically. So as a support, this is actually really, really important, because especially as Sona, you do a ridiculous amount of damage for your auto attacks and for your power chords. So you need to auto attack as much as possible. So if your AD carry is being focused and has to run, you generally try to do as much damage as possible. You know, if you're being focused and you have to run, generally your AD carry should be trying to do as much damage as possible. So right here, again, you should have exhausted him. You should have kept auto attacking him. And he manages to pick up a kill. You exhaust him a bit late, and he just simply gets away. So I think I covered pretty much all you really needed to know about that. So you guys push into your turret, which is good. Looks like he'll be able to get back without missing anything. Okay, so I liked what you tried to do here. You know, you saw Twitch was on his own, so you tried to be, you know, super aggressive. I guess the only reason this didn't really work out is because he already had a Vamp Scepter, so he could sustain up. And also because he took like a ton of tower hits. When you're trying to harass, try not to take any tower shots, especially as Sona. Like, you're pretty much gonna have to use your W to heal that up if you take a tower shot. So yeah, if you were like a bit more careful, you would have a lot more mana right now. You'd be pretty much full health, and you would have more mana to. You would have had more mana to Q the switch as well. So try not to take any tower damage when harassing. And at this point, you're pretty much on your back foot because you're going to be out of mana in about 4 spellcasts. You know, you guys are pushed up. You guys have a possibility of getting ganked if this guy decides to come down here. And yeah, so this is what I wanted you to do at level 1, is if they ward this, you just pink it and get control of the bush again. So this is good. This is what I wanted you to do a bit earlier. So you can walk out, poke, and then try to get a bit of damage in. And again, small thing, you want to follow up with your 80k. So you tried to walk out, poke a bit of damage, and it didn't quite work out, so you just walk into the bush, and then you just assume you can't really do anything until your Q's back up. If you see Twitch walk up here, walk out and auto attack him. Just because you don't have your Q up doesn't mean you can't do any damage or get some poke off. You already know you dewarded this bush. They have no vision, so you can easily pop out, auto attack, and then be back in the bush before he even has time to react. Especially since your Vayne is coming up here again, you want to protect her. So you see the Vayne, or the Twitch is going for her. See, you were just a bit late, and Vayne takes a bit of damage, not much damage, but it's enough that you want to use W. And you want to save as much mana as you can so you can keep using Q. So Nasus is coming down here. You're pretty much out of mana. Let's see. So Nasus is coming around. Uses Ghost. And you're pretty much dead. Yeah, there's really not much you guys could have done. You had no flash, Nasus used Ghost. You didn't see him coming through a river because Tribush wasn't warded, but this area. And Twitch and Janna were just really high health, so you couldn't really turn around on them. The one possible way you could have gotten out without flash was if you harassed Twitch down low enough that he couldn't actually help Nasus in the gank, and he had to sit at his tower to last hit. So if you just harassed him down a bit more, maybe that would have worked out better. Otherwise, you know, Nasus was middle. You saw he was middle, and you saw he was going into the lower jungle. And mostly it's just a map awareness thing. Like, I saw he was in middle, and I said, you know, he might come down to gank you guys. So what you want to do is you want to watch middle, watch where he goes, and if he disappears from middle, just assume he's going to be bottom. Just, like, assume it. So, if you just assumed he was coming bottom, then you would have stayed, like, in the back bush, like right here, instead of, like, all the way up here, and you could have possibly gotten out of that. And anticipate jungle ganks. Never be like just playing the game and then someone ganks you and you're just like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Always, always, always try to anticipate it. And the golden rule is that, you know, if he appears middle and he just disappears, assume he's coming to your lane. You know, even if he isn't, just assume he is and just play like he is. And that way you'll stay safer from a lot of ganks. So let's see here. Okay, so we can go all the way back here. Okay, so Twitch is level 6, which is a bit scary, but not too big of a problem, so you get off some good harass. Kill a pink, which is good. And then you see when Twitch walks forward like this, you want to walk out of the bush and hit him. Now, in a straight up 1v1, you will lose against Twitch, but you will not lose if you have Vayne as well. So, try not to be too scared about walking up and harassing them if they're being like super aggressive like this, when their support is like all the way back here, and with like no mana and like no health. right now you guys are stronger, 100%. So you see what happens here? He walks up and starts, you know, trying to fight your Vayne. You want to walk out of the bush and support her. You don't want to be in the bush if they're like fighting all the way up here. So this is good. Yeah, you see when after he does a bunch of damage, you know, you come up and harass him and zone him out a bit. You want to be doing this as he's trying to fight her. So, okay, this is a bit better. No, he's trying to like push up on you guys and harass the Vayne, and you're just trying to zone him off. You do not have to walk right beside him. All you have to do is pop out of the bush, close enough so you can just Q auto attack and run back in the bush. If you go this close, there's a possibility he might turn on you and just kill you. Looks like you're fine, but you generally do not need to walk that close. Okay, so this is good. So this is where you want it to be. It's pushing to your side. You guys are relatively like full health. These guys are really low, no mana, so they can't really fight you. So right now what you want to do is just zone them out from the creeps. That's exactly what it's going to happen here. I would stop this back with just like an auto attack or a Q or something. I would have stopped it with just an auto attack because if you Q, it's actually going to push the wave back to their side. And we want to try to freeze it here if they're zoned. If you can zone the enemy, generally you want to just freeze it as much as you can to make them lose as much CS as possible. You guys like go help. Okay, so what I would have done here is I would have actually greeted a bit, because we'll see what happened here is he just ulted. There's really no danger, you know. Zed was all the way back here, Riven was still top, and bot lane was, you know, still blocked. So what you don't want to do is just ult like that. You want to save your ults so you can pick up the kill. If you just ult right now, it really does nothing because he's still ulted. He's still gonna do damage, and what you guys could have done is you guys could have just hit him down as low as you can, and then when he tried to run, then you could have ulted and then tried to get the kill. As it is, your ult right here really did not do much. You guys hit him anyways, you guys do a lot of damage, and if you ulted him like right here, then potentially you could have picked this up. So it was a decent ult. You just didn't really accomplish much from it because no one was in any danger. And you guys didn't really have a chance of picking up any kills with it. So generally you want to save your ult for when you can accomplish more of it. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so your ult's down right now, it's about to be back up.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Get some good poke off, so that's good. Okay, see what happens here? He jumps on your Vayne for like 2 free seconds and you aren't there to help her. You want to be there to help her when she like Twitch jumps on him. It does not matter if your Q is up or not. I'm going to tell you this like right now. It does not matter if your Q is actually up or not. All you have to do is walk forward, auto attack, and be like a big presence in the lane. And that's all you need to do. Because if you do that, then it gives Vayne time to turn around and you can both turn on him. Then as he's running away, you can hit him with your Q as it comes off cooldown. And that way you guys can do a lot of damage to him. So Vayne like ults really hard. So you go into the bush, poke him down. Good, that was good. Walk forward, poke, back in the bush. There, that's exactly what you want to do. Now there's a Nasus again. You guys are probably gonna maybe not. Okay, so what you want to do here, ideally what you guys actually would have done is... actually, I'm not sure. If Vayne had ult, you could have actually just ulted Twitch here and maybe potentially just have turned on them. And you're gonna die. Okay, so you had ult up, so honestly all you had to do was just ult. And okay. And all you really have to do is just ult Twitch right here, because Twitch is gonna be the one that kills you, because you're full health and that Nasus is not gonna kill you from full health. So you did have your ult up, so you just want to ult here, ult the Twitch. And then you guys would survive that pretty well. Also you could have just flashed earlier. Okay, let's see. I guess you didn't see the Twitch, but the second the Twitch appeared here and like maybe the replay is bugged and you didn't have your ult up, and if that was the case then you should have just instantly flashed the second you saw Twitch here. Because the second he lands this right here is when you were dead. The second he lands that is when you were dead. Because you got double slowed, you just took a ton of damage, and he just flashed that with you. So either ult or just flash the second you know you're in trouble. Don't try to save it until you've already lost all your health. And you'll be a bit better.
Shut down. Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
So you guys come in lane here. Like, I like how you're controlling bushes. This is really important in Sona. There's just a couple of things you have to work on in regards of, how to harass and how to protect your AD carry from the bush, but controlling the bush is, or at least how you're controlling the bush, or at least how you're trying to do it, is a really good start at least, because a lot of Sonas actually don't do that, so. It looks like Nasus is just gonna gank you again. Alright. That was just a bit of miscommunication. Vayne should have helped you. Let's go back here. Vayne definitely should have helped you here. Or right here. Yeah, if Vayne ulted, you should have ulted as well. So that was just miscommunication. I know what you're saying about that. Yeah, try to, if you're dueling, especially, try to be on the same page as your AD carry, going at the same time, walk forward at the same time, walk back at the same time, ult at the same time. It makes kills a lot easier. See, you ulted there, Twitch just uses, cleanse, Vayne didn't have ult, so nothing really happened there.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, it looks like you guys just got killed. Looks like you guys managed to turn it around though. So basically what seems to happen bottom is you try to force it, or at least you try to play so aggressive enough that the lane pushes into their tower, and then the jungler just comes and kills you. Generally, if you're playing aggressive enough for it to push, it should either be pushing so hard that there's a huge wave at their tower, so they have to last hit. So even if the jungler comes, there's still a huge wave of creeps here, and you can just walk back. Or you harass them so low that even if the jungler comes, you could potentially just turn and kill them. So it really gives you, the jungler no incentive to actually gank you. What actually seems to happen is you push them to their tower. They're pretty much full health still. They still have a lot of mana, and the jungler just comes and it just turns into a free V2 and you just die. Also, you could have maybe warded Tribush if he was coming from Tribush a lot. But yeah, just in general, you wanna try not to push, unless you're getting a lot of damage down. Or I guess just expect the jungle ganks to come. I'm not saying you can't push, but you can push if you just realistically expect the jungle gank to come and have a plan to get out. because generally the jungler will gank you if you're pushed up far enough or long enough. You just, like after 2-3 minutes of being pushed up, you should expect that jungler to come. And when Nasus comes, ideally, I think what you did was, when he came out from this direction here, you walked out of the bush and like try to poke him down or protect Vayne or something, and you just ended up dying. And either you preemptively flash out of that, you ult the Twitch, or you could have just stayed in this bush right here and then just walked along the wall, and Nasus would have not caught you like at all, and he wouldn't have been able to catch the Vayne with her tumble either. So I don't know. All ganks are different. It's just, if you're going to be pushed up this far, expect the jungle gank to come and have a plan for when it actually does come. And that way you won't die so many times to it, and either that or just do so much damage to the enemy bot lane that even if the jungler comes, they can't really do anything because the enemy bot lane is too low health to help. And anything like that. So you guys are doing dragon here. It's like 17 minutes. Laning phase is pretty much over. I think I pretty much covered like most of what I wanted to talk about. So I'm actually just gonna cut it short here because I'm like hella hungry. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have more questions or you want me to explain more on how to do this or how to do that or whatever, obviously just post a comment, post a reply, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But other than that, that's about it.